Guys, it's finally happened. I'm gonna be real for a minute. We've had to put up with a lot of B-list YouTubers on this series so far, but none of that crap anymore. We're going straight to the big leagues, boys. iDubbbz don't make me laugh. What's he? Oh, I might get in trouble for saying a naughty word. Yeah, let's see how you compare in a moment. Oh, who've we got? Jaden Animations, disgusting.
Be friends.
Gross. I don't even want to see a stupid face anymore. Oh, I'm a nice person. How many millions have you donated to charity, Jaden? That's what I thought. B-list. Who else we got? James from The Odd Ones Out. Oh, you're alright. No more of that garbage. Today, we're having the real thing, fellas. So I finally get to say this intro. Hi, I'm Dave from Boy in a Band, and recently, me and my friend Rumi have made a song with PewDiePie. Whoa, calm down, fellas. Let me explain. I've known Felix for a while now, and he's not a bad guy. We actually met by coincidence quite a few years back when he first moved to England, and we attended the same get-together. The Grand Wizard stopped talking, and we took off our hoods, and it was like, oh, I watch your videos. Like, no way. We bonded over how reasonable it seemed that, like, a lack of melanin makes you a superior human being. I mean, we don't have any science to back that up, but, you know, science can't explain everything. That's why I'd never vaccinate my kids. So this video is going to talk about how we put the song and the music video together and go over some of the lines we had to be a bit careful with. So if you haven't watched the original song yet, go do that because there are spoilers coming up. Alright, so the story starts with a Swedish boy. Not that Swedish boy, the inferior Swedish boy. There we go. My friend Rumi texted me and he was like, hey, it's your pal Rumi here from Sweden. Felix said he wanted to make a song with you and me. PewDiePie is looking to make something special for when T-Series overtakes him. Are you in? And I was like, oh, hell yeah, bitch. Then we started making this song. Now, let me remember what happened. Hang on. Ultimately, we settled on a song celebrating T-Series getting to the #1 spot because we couldn't think of any popular songs about congratulations. Oh, crap, Post Malone. I forgot about the song by Post Malone. We put a lot of work into this. That's such an oversight. So initially, Rumi and I sat down and came up with some ideas for the song, and I don't have any footage of that, so here's this footage instead.
Rumi's drunk.
Then while Rumi found the beat and put together a bunch of possible choruses, and I turned the ideas we had into lyrics. But Felix wanted to give the song a bit more bite, so we got together to cut some of the tamer lines and replace them with something a little more interesting. So there's a couple of lines that are probably worth addressing.
India got YouTube figured out, that's sick, son. How about next you figure how to fix the caste system?
I thought it was funny how Bitch Lasagna conflated T-Series with the entirety of India. So we thought it'd be good to continue that. We had to think about what legit things there were to criticize India about. Gandhi was a pretty horrible person in a lot of ways.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, this sounds bad, but hear me out. He didn't allow his wife to take this medication.
Oh, wow.
And then when he got the same disease after she died, he took the medication.
What the?
I think he beat her as well. Like Gandhi.
Wife beater, huh?
Gandhi was a wife beater. Yeah, that's the way to win back India. In the end, I thought a solid criticism would be the caste system in India, and I thought the best person to bring that up would be a British person. You know, we've been historically very considerate to India. If you weren't already aware, the caste system in India separates different people into different social classes, saying some people are just born superior to others. They've taken a few steps to reducing it, but it's by no means eliminated. It'd be kind of like if in England, if all the rich, posh people thought that they were better than the lower class people. Oh. Alright, maybe that analogy isn't great. Okay, it's like racism for people of the same race. Next. Lyric.
But never mind the poor people, we just here to party.
Now, I know there's going to be people here who are like, oh, this is really insensitive to poor people. How are they going to feel about this? But I specifically said never mind the poor people. So, like, you really only have yourself to blame if you're worrying about that. Or the poor people. I don't even know why you're mad. They won't be able to hear the song. Next. Lyric. So there's one section talking about a message that Felix got from T-Series.
I got a letter in the post. What is this? T-Series serious, saying cease and desist.
I'm not going to go too much into it because that's definitely for Felix to do, and that would make for a hilarious video in its own right. But it's the funniest legal letter I've seen. It's trying to accuse him of defamation whilst not understanding the legal definition of defamation at all. Next. Lyric. So eventually we just had one line to finish. I had this idea for a line to kind of address the Indian jokes, to show that for some of these jokes, the humour comes from them being such blatant racist lies. And I had a pretty clever way to get this across. So the idea is that you would say a blatant racist lie, and then say, that's a blatant racist lie. Thank you. The creative genius I have is a gift. So we were stuck in the situation of having to come up with a racist statement so stupid that no one could possibly take it seriously.
Did you know that Indians are really not that great?
Really not that great. I feel like that's more racist.
They're really testing racism here.
Yeah, this is interesting. It's like the slightest racism you could possibly have.
Is that the slightest?
Did you know how Indians have poo-poo in their brains?
I kind of like that. Some stupid fact. Like,
Right.
you can't get angry at that.
That's a blatant racist lie, but still not defamation. It kind of works.
Yeah, that kind of works. Yeah. It's so stupid.
Right.
That's the line. I think that's it. That's what we were looking for.
There you go, Vox. That one's for free. So with the lyrics done, it was time to record.
There and then documents.
I love your pronunciations of things. Documents.
How would you say it?
Documents.
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 Well, you're wrong.
We wanted to try some different tones of voice to see what would work in the song, so we looked to other rappers for inspiration. Try being more Drake after this one.
I can't do Drake. I don't want to sound like my least favorite rapper.
Hey, congratulations. I'm Drake.
Was a massive corporate entity in every song in Bollywood.
I love your Drake face. He's stumbling old man.
That's his face. I don't know what to tell you, man.
So we got started recording stuff.
But today, I just want to tell you.
Kind of like quite loud into the chorus might be
Okay,
cool.
okay.
Try that one.
But today, I just want to tell you.
Nice.
For legal reasons, that's a joke. For legal reasons, that's a joke. For serious Indian mafia, please don't kill me. That's a joke. It's your big day. It's a big day.
Bit more punchy, and I think that's good. And Asians.
Need a billion nations. Yeah, Asians?
Asians.
Asians.
That's it.
Hope you did nothing wrong like starting your business by selling pirated songs.
Nice, I like the tone on the songs.
Genocide, so you can call me. About to cause some genocide, so you can call me it.
About to cause some genocide is really funny. Right.
I'm a heavy hitter. I'm a f***ing heavy hitter.
It is a bit British, isn't it? Some people I've worked with on this kind of thing get really frustrated when they mess up a line, but Felix is actually a really mild-mannered guy when it comes to that.
Hey, congratulations, you. Meet one Swedish boy, you need a billion. You to your corporation to just be a f***ing starting your business.
Jesus Christ.
What is wrong with me? It's right there on Wikipedia. What did I do? Oh, shit.
That's the lyric. Pirated songs. Hope you enjoyed those clips. They probably cost me thousands of pounds in demonetization. When it came to recording, things actually went pretty quickly in general. Felix listens to a lot of rap, so I think some of that experience might have helped. However, there was one line that didn't go quite as smoothly. The line was, I love my Indian bros. You're hanging out with your Indian bros, you love them. I love my Indian bros. Like, that's natural, that's how you'd say it. Definitely wouldn't say it with some other inflection, right? Because that would be weird.
I love my Indian bros.
Right.
Got it. India, I'm sorry, but that means you're the best. I love my Indian bros. Oh my god. India, I'm sorry, but that means you're the best. I love my Indian bros. 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 I love my Indian bros. Means you're the best. I love my Indian bros.
Don't worry about that word anymore.
I can do it! I love my Indian bros. 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 Bros. love my Indian bros. I love my Indian bros.
Right.
I love my Indian bros. Easy, I got this. Easy. Give it to me.
Okay.
I love my Indian bros. Oh my god. Indian, I'm sorry about the memes. You're the best. I love my Indian bros. From Bombay to Bangladesh. Yeah. India, I'm sorry about the memes. You're the best. I love my Indian bros. From you. I don't care. Move on. I got it that one time.
You did. To be fair on the guy, it's not like he had much experience with that particular word and inflection. Okay, I'm bullying him a bit here. He's not the type of guy to make fun of other people when they mess up. So we sent the song off to be mixed by some other Swede, and then we just had the music video left to make. Now at this point, things were getting pretty close in the battle between T-Series and PewDiePie. So we didn't have much time to question our choices. We had the thought of recording in a room full of balloons for one of the shots in the music video. So we did what any multi-millionaire, world-famous entertainer would do in that situation. Blow up a room full of balloons ourselves. By the end of that, the skin on our fingers was rubbed off. I don't know if you can see that in the video, but it bloody hurt. There was literally blood on some of those balloons. By the way, now is a good time to say thanks to Jonas, who did the camera work, the editing, and let us fill his room with balloons. So we'd set up and we were ready to record.
Go, Dave, go for it. Look, there's a bed down here. It's not actually a room full of balloons.
Wait, ruining the illusion.
Wow.
Why would you do that?
But then Felix remembered that his neighbors get mad if he makes noise too late, so he had to head over to his place to set up for a different scene before it was so late that he'd get a noise complaint. Oh yeah, we had to record to a sped up version of the song to make it look all airy and music video-y. But yeah, if you want to see the real speed music video, just find the Nightcore version someone's inevitably uploaded.
I probably would never mind the poor people we can stand by. You can throw me in your wanna tell you that I think that you're amazing. Let me educate you, baby. That's a defamation. Yeah. Woohoo. Ha ha. That's dope. Yeah.
Okay, I'm recording.
At one point, the directions started to sound less like a music video and more like,
You want to get close and caress it on the side a little bit? Keep your head close. With the hand as well.
One thing I learned from this experience is that there's only a limited number of dance moves you can do when you're sitting, bouncing around in a chair.
I'm a heavy head, just about to cover the gender sector. You can call me. It's a celebration, party all day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll take your mind. Holy shit, guys, that was awesome.
So something to keep in mind at this point. Rumi had just flown back from LA earlier this day, an 11-hour flight, without sleeping on the flight. So he was really looking for something to keep him going.
Hope you did nothing wrong. I started your business by selling pirated songs. Oof, didn't think we'd see. It's right there on Wikipedia. I get used to your past being held against me by the media. I'm sure I learned ever since I was a nobody screaming in barrels. I used to say the controversies. You've been by my side. There's no army in the world. I would rather give you much time. It's in my life.
I don't know if it helped the tiredness, but it definitely made him a little more enthusiastic.
Makes you figure how to fix the system.
By the way, you ever been hanging out with a friend and forget that they have a talent, and then just out of nowhere they're like, and you're like, oh yeah, you have a talent. So after that, we had to get back to the balloon room.
You got a nice ass.
Hey Dave,
Are you filming in vertical?
Oh, it's filming vertical.
What's wrong with you?
Whatever, I'll turn it around for you.
Oh yeah, that'll make it better.
This camera is good.
Is it an Honor 8X?
No, it's the Samsung Galaxy S8.
Oh, is that the one Casey Neistat had?
Yeah. You can fucking stand in this.
God damn it!
We had to go pretty energetic for the video, so I wasn't sure how long it would be until one of these balloons popped and terrified us all.
1, 2, 3.
Congratulations to your coronation. Legal losers at the different serious yeah, please don't kill me, that's a joke. There's nothing that you're doing that's illegal. Yeah, about to cause a joke. Hey, congratulations!
After several hours of this, 0 of the balloons popped. Not even joking. That was a good brand, but we knew you'd want to see it, so...
Alright, I'm recording.
T-Series.
Holy shit. It's one more.
And this is for my brass.
Okay, yeah.
So at this point, we were getting pretty tired. Things were starting to get a little bit out of hand, but we had to get this done. Remember, at this point, there was a subscriber gap of like 15,000 between PewDiePie and T-Series, so we recorded.
Such a big day! That's not the line! Such a big day!
And recorded.
Open your eyes. Looks like you're dead.
And recorded. And recorded. And you know when you're cooped up with your friends for too long working on something and you have a mental breakdown in a balloon pit?
It wasn't even funny, I'm so tired.
I'm crying. I can't feel where I'm crying.
This is the funniest place to have a breakdown.
I'm just laughing so much. I'm not sad. I was fucking dying.
But eventually we were done, so we were able to stop and look after our health at that point. So we did what any deliriously tired people should do.
Holy sh**.
I actually feel like I should say, do not try this at home.
Dab.
It was really windy, and we were incredibly tired, and I couldn't keep my hair out of my face for a second. Perfect conditions for setting off fireworks.
Okay, it's a wrap.
Is that a right?
After being kind of deliriously gone in the balloon pit, it was actually a really fun end to the night. It really felt like we were a bunch of drunk friends celebrating, even though it was just one drunk friend celebrating. So we went home and collapsed, and Joel flew back to America next morning in like a few hours after we'd finished shooting. That's a dedicated man. Whichever woman ends up with him is a lucky lady. But yeah, we were all ready to get up and finish this video the next day to put it out when T-Series passed PewDiePie. And then this happened. 1 million subs in 2 days. Never done before. I guess if you think of it as Jake Paul saying PewDiePie is next to pass all the competition, then Jake Paul was correct. Fortunately, that gave us a bit of time to record a few extra scenes because it felt a bit weird not having some shots of Felix on his own. And that's also why Rumi wasn't in these shots, because he was in America jet-lagged out of his mind. So in conclusion, my favourite scene of the video is where Rumi gets smacked in the face.
About to kill me!
Okay. Calm down.
It's been hilarious how often this song has been pushed back. We were for real in this state of mind where it was just like end of an era kind of moment. And then this meme kept propelling it forward for months. We just kept imagining like the T-Series executives sitting there like just ready to take it. And then it's like, oh God, come on. There was one part of this video that when I told Felix about the idea, he wasn't really sure about it. It didn't really hit him. But when I showed my friends the song to get an opinion of it before we released it, all of them had the same emotional reaction that I did, and that was the one last brofist thing. And I kind of get it. Like, Felix is an insanely down-to-earth person, but perhaps it's one of those things that is easier to see from the outside in. It's been really cool that for the past 5 years, the top creator on the platform has been someone who comes across as so genuine, even if it results in industry-shaking controversies. And it really is kind of an end of an era thing. I've watched Pewds for years now. Like, initially I was one of those people that was like, why are millions of people watching this random guy playing video games? I even made a satirical video mocking his style in the early days.
God, is that you? God, Jesus, Allah.
Sorry, Felix. I think I forgot to mention that. But then I started to enjoy the content, and I found myself watching his Let's Plays while I was eating lunch. I've collaborated with a few of his friends who were in his earlier videos, Minx and Cry, and whenever he came up in conversation, they had nothing but nice things to say about him. And it's cool that even after so long, he's still not an ass. Just a racist. It's been really cool being able to work on this project. Whenever I think about this, I think of like this clip of iDubbbz from the H3 podcast.
I'm a big fan of freedom of speech.
Felix has become this kind of lightning rod for this particular issue. And I think that in general, he's pretty reasonable and he owns up to his mistakes. And I can respect that. So yeah, much respect, Felix. And to Joel as well, for staying awake for like 48 hours or something. Which is kind of funny, considering how he wasn't always the biggest fan of Felix in the early days. He's just done a video on his channel about that, and also talked a bit about his perspective from behind the scenes. So I hope you enjoyed the song, gamers. Stay woke. Cheers for watching, and have a nice day. I've ended the previous episodes of this series in like an I'm gay meme or something, but I don't think I have anything like that for Felix. So I hope I can find something, or this is going to be a really disappointing outro.